Hi, his name is EMINEM, and he really doesn't like Donald Trump. The rapper unleashing a biting freestyle on BET's Hip Hop Awards, and it's not the first time he's attacked the U.S. president.
Whoa, hold on to your hats, folks, because things just got wild. Imagine turning on your TV and seeing EMINEM dropping bars so savage that even Trump can't keep his cool. Yep, this actually happened. Live. Trump's reaction? Let's just say it's breaking the internet. What did EMINEM say that made Trump erupt like a volcano? Stick around, because this is one showdown you can't afford to miss.
Oh yeah. That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not, but that's all I got till I come up with a solid... Got a plan and now I got a hatchet like a damn Apache with a tomahawk. I'ma walk inside a mosque on Ramadan and say a prayer that every time talks.
The stage was set. The cameras were rolling. The energy in the room was electric, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Without warning, EMINEM seized the moment, eyes burning with intensity, and unleashed a lyrical assault on Donald J. Trump. There were no subtle hints, no cryptic disses, just raw, unfiltered bars aimed directly at the former president. As the beat dropped, EMINEM's flow became relentless, tearing into Trump's legacy, policies, and persona with the precision of a battle-hardened wordsmith.
Him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, you know, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life?
If you're enjoying, please subscribe. Social media erupted in real time. Clips spread like wildfire, drawing reactions from every corner of the political and entertainment worlds. Some hailed EMINEM as a fearless truth-teller, while others condemned him for going too far. Yet, love him or hate him, no one could deny the sheer impact of his words. Even the production team seemed stunned, unsure whether to cut away or let the moment play out. But EMINEM was in complete control, delivering each line with calculated fury, making it clear this wasn't just another rap, it was a reckoning.
People shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known.
As the final bar landed, silence filled the room for a split second before the crowd exploded. EMINEM dropped the mic and stepped back, his message sent loud and clear. This wasn't just a performance, it was a cultural moment that would be dissected, debated, and remembered for years. Once again, the rap god had made history, proving that his voice still carried undeniable weight in both music and politics.
And Republicans alike, and that other guy, they had conventions, and they look cooler than this one. But so what? So what? I say to them. Excuse me. And what am I running for, you ask? I don't run from anything. That's the thing. I tackle the issues head on. And on this very night, in front of all of you, my supporters, I have a chance to compete. I am honored by your support and hereby accept your nomination for the candidate for the shady party and stuff.
Trump, sitting in his golden palace, probably mid-cheeseburger, had no idea his night was about to take a nosedive. Maybe he was doom-scrolling Truth Social, searching for fresh compliments or imaginary voter fraud. Maybe he was admiring a framed Time magazine cover, with his face photoshopped on Mount Rushmore. Or maybe he was deep in thought, wondering why Diet Coke wasn't classified as a vegetable. Whatever it was, his peace was shattered when his phone buzzed. His eyes squinted, lips pursed. Bad news. EMINEM stepped up, microphone in hand, eyes locked on the camera like a predator eyeing its prey. He didn't need a beat. He didn't need backup dancers. He just needed one thing, an audience ready to watch him verbally dismantle president. And then he went off. It wasn't just a diss track, it was a public service announcement.
Now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust.
Verse after scorching verse of Eminem's more than 4.5-minute rap taking aim at the president.
Eminem unloaded years of frustration, roasting Trump's policies, his tweets, his hair, or whatever that thing on his head is. The crowd was eating it up like a buffet at a Vegas casino. Even the cameramen were trying to hold back laughter. This was the absolute worst. Maybe it was another indictment. Maybe someone unearthed old Apprentice footage where he actually got fired, or worst of all, maybe a rival's rally drew a bigger crowd. The ketchup bottle shook. The cheeseburger tumbled from his grip. Total disaster. Fake news, he bellowed, sending a Secret Service agent into a cold sweat. Somewhere in the palace, Melania rolled over, muttering, "Not again." His tiny thumbs went into overdrive, firing off a furious all-caps rant that autocorrect refused to process. But deep down, he knew. This wasn't just a bad night. This was meme territory. And no amount of truths on Truth Social could stop the internet from doing what it does best, roasting him alive.
We are waiting to see if, at all, President Trump would respond to this new war of words not launched by a politician or a football player, but a rapper. EMINEM lashed out against President Trump during the BET Hip Hop Awards last night. It was this 4.5-minute freestyle performance, and after he unleashed, he left his fans with an ultimatum: you are either with EMINEM or you're with President Trump.
Trump, of course, saw everything. His face turned an unnatural shade of orange-red, like a sunburnt pumpkin that had just been told it was getting deported. His signature pout deepened into a frown so tight you could have used it to seal a jar of expired Trump steaks. His tiny little hands so small they could probably slip through prison bars if needed, immediately reached for his phone. The all-caps rage typing began. "Eminem is washed up, no talent, loser, fake news, sad." His thumbs moved at breakneck speed, a blur of rage and typos. If you look closely, you could probably see steam rising from his scalp, which we can only assume is held together by a combination of hairspray, dreams, and legal defenses. Meanwhile, Melania sat in the background, scrolling on her phone with the level of interest one has while watching paint dry.
Eminem did a 4-minute freestyle rap criticizing Trump. Of course, the president isn't just going to ignore something like that. So today, Trump clapped back with a freestyle rap of his own. It's a clapback. Check this out.
Boom, 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 boom. Knock, knock. Bum, bum, bum. China. Bing, 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 bing. Bum, bum. Bing, bong. Ba, 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 ba. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
It was unclear if she even registered her husband's outburst or if she was too busy Googling countries with no extradition treaties for the 47th time. But Trump wasn't done. Oh no, he despises criticism almost as much as he despises paying taxes. Eminem had torched him like a well-done Trump Tower steak, and he needed to fight back in the most Trumpian way possible. He considered challenging Eminem to a rap battle, an 8 Mile style showdown, but then remembered he can't rhyme anything except great with great and huge with huge. Plan B? Sue Eminem. Because if Trump can't win an argument, he'll try to bury it in lawsuits. His legal team, who at this point were probably being paid in McDonald's coupons, would be tasked with proving that Eminem was guilty of something, anything. But before he could act, Fox News picked up the story, and the real chaos began.
You know, the reason they bring them out, and other people, they're bringing out all these other people. You know, nobody goes to their rallies. Nobody goes there. So you know what they do? They bring in so-called stars that I've never even heard of. You know, these are not stars to me. These are not stars to me, but they bring out some people.
But the internet? Oh, the internet thrived on this moment. Twitter went into full meltdown mode, Instagram became a shrine of memes, and TikTok turned Eminem's diss into a whole movement. Kids were rapping it, grandmas were reacting to it, and some guy even remixed it into a lo-fi beats to destroy your political career to track. Meanwhile, over at Golden Toilet Estates, formerly known as Trump's Florida resort, the man himself was livid. Pacing back and forth in his robe, Cheeto dust on his fingertips, he barked at his legal team like a reality show contestant fighting for airtime. Can we sue for lyrical defamation? What about presidential slander? Can I issue an executive order to cancel Eminem's Spotify? His lawyers, exhausted, flipped through their law books, wondering if they could legally fake a Wi-Fi outage and make a run for it.
When I start talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated watching.
And the diss? Absolutely surgical. Eminem didn't just mention Trump's failures, he arranged them like a hit list. The overpriced steaks that tasted like wet cardboard? Gone. The university that scammed students harder than a rigged carnival game? Dismantled. The casinos? Oh, the casinos. Eminem roasted the fact that Trump somehow managed to bankrupt a business where the entire point is to take other people's money. That's like setting fire to a bottle of water, like getting lost in a one-room apartment, like failing an open book test with the answers highlighted. Even Fox News struggled to defend it, as their hosts sat there desperately trying to come up with an excuse better than, Eminem is just jealous. But the damage was done. Eminem had won, the internet had moved on, and somewhere in Florida, Trump was still trying to come up with a comeback that wasn't just sad.
Fuck Trump, the commander of grief. Bald bitch bureaucrat no better than a gutter rat. Builds a wall to make a slave nation. Create hate without debate like date rape when you're grape ape. Yeah, the home of the brave enslaved as we march to our graves.
He absolutely torched Trump's obsession with Twitter, saying the man ran the country like a keyboard warrior still living in his mom's basement, fueled by Diet Coke and rage tweets. He mocked the time Trump awkwardly held a Bible upside down, looking at it like it was a foreign object, probably because it wasn't a McDonald's menu. And of course, he went after Trump's weird admiration for dictators, joking that the only wall Trump ever successfully built was the one between him and reality. Trump's inner circle immediately went into full panic mode. Advisors scrambled like they were defusing a nuclear bomb, trying to calm him down, but soothing Trump's ego is like telling a seagull to stop stealing fries. It's just not happening. His face turned redder than a MAGA hat, his tiny fingers clenched into fists, and his hair...
Candace Owen is funny, man. Watch this.
But we better give Obama props, cause what we got in office now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust. And while the drama pops and he waits for shit to quiet down, he'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops.
Oh, har! You heard him. We're gonna have a nuclear holocaust if Trump is president, and he'll fly his plane around till the bombing stops.
You can't make this up.
Well, let's just say it looked like it was trying to make a run for it. He wanted revenge. Not just any revenge, he wanted to clap back. He called his staff, demanding someone write a better rap for him. That's right, Trump decided the best way to fight back was with a diss track. Imagine the horror in the room. Seasoned political aides, people with law degrees, policy experts, all watching their boss try to become the next Eminem, or more realistically, the next Vanilla Ice. "Sir, are you sure about this?" one brave soul asked while the rest stared at the floor, avoiding eye contact. "Of course, it's going to be huge. Better than Tupac, better than Biggie. They call me T. Diddy, folks. I've got the best bars, believe me." He then grabbed a napkin, scribbled what he thought were lyrics, and declared, "Drop the beat." Except there was no beat. Just silence. His rhyme attempts were tragic. He somehow tried to make Nancy Pelosi rhyme with pepperoni and China with hyena. His staff knew it was a disaster, but could they stop him? Nope. Trump was about to drop the coldest diss track in presidential history.
I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit, there's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening.
The result? A total train wreck. They did what any desperate campaign would do. They hired a ghostwriter, because obviously Trump wasn't going to sit down and write bars himself. And then, In what can only be described as a historic act of self-sabotage, Trump actually tried to rap on camera. It was beyond horrifying. The beat was fighting for its life. The flow was MIA. He sounded like a substitute teacher reading TikTok slang off a teleprompter. At one point, he confidently shouted, "Make rap great again," as if hip-hop had personally asked for his intervention. Somewhere, Abraham Lincoln's ghost face-palmed. George Washington let out a deep sigh. Even the Statue of Liberty turned away in shame. And if you thought it couldn't get worse, oh, it did. Midway through, he attempted a dance move that can only be described as a mix between a malfunctioning robot and a penguin on roller skates. His campaign staff watched in stunned horror. Meanwhile, Drake probably wrote a diss track in real time. The video was so bad that even AI-generated rap battles refused to acknowledge it. Hip-hop officially filed a restraining order. And just like that, Trump's rap career ended before it even began.
He gets an enormous reaction when he attacks the NFL, so we focus on that instead of talking Puerto Rico with gun reform for Nevada.
The rapper, who repeatedly calls Trump racist, also accusing the president of disrespecting the military.
Meanwhile, Eminem's diss spread faster than a conspiracy theory on Facebook. Even people who thought bars were just places that served drinks were suddenly rap analysts, breaking down his rhymes like it was the Da Vinci Code. Late-night hosts had a field day. Colbert roasted Trump so hard, his spray tan nearly peeled off. Memes flooded the internet. Someone even edited 8 Mile, replacing Papa Doc with Trump, but instead of freezing up, he just kept repeating "tremendous" until the beat cut off. And then came the ultimate humiliation. Eminem didn't just destroy Trump with lyrics, he challenged him to a rap battle. The internet lost its mind. Whilst Trump ended up lashing out at Kimmel using his Twitter fingers.
I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of Kimmel and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on TruthSend. Anyone? No? Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time?
This wasn't just a diss. It was a career-ending, dignity-obliterating, ego-shattering annihilation. Eminem had verbally dunked on him so hard, even the NBA took notes. And while the rap god went back to his life, Trump sat in his golden tower, seething, probably brainstorming ways to get Eminem deported. But the internet, it never forgets. And neither will Trump. Because deep in the hollow chamber where his soul should be, past the ego, past the spray tan, he knows that whenever someone brings up Eminem, the world will remember the night he got absolutely destroyed on live television.